After Enlightened in Eternity and Forge Your Future, the heavy metal alliterations continue with Ghost at the Gallows, which is the brand new album by Spirit Adrift and my second review of this week. So if you're not familiar with Spirit Adrift, they are a heavy metal band that are headed up by the man, the myth, the legend himself, Nate Garrett. I guess the best way would be to say, think if you put the melodies of Thin Lizzy up with the power of High on Fire, the sort of crooning sort of grunge idea of Alice in Chains with a sprinkle of Megadeth on top, and that's kind of what you've got with Spirit Adrift. The lyrics, I think, on this record very much talk about loss and the idea of the grieving process. There's a very kind of somber feel to a lot of them. Equally though, I think there's songs which are about triumphing over adversity and, you know, kind of prevailing and you know, having that inner strength inside. As Nate's killer YouTube channel, Big Riff Energy, states, of course, Spirit Adrift are powered by the riff. And there are some amazing riffs on this record, you know, like Barn Burner is a big highlight for me personally. It's got that sort of like Master of Puppets style riff, that sort of thrashy style. But then you've got the triumphant Death Won't Stop Me, which is that, and it really kind of makes you want to nod your head, but also is very, very memorable at the same time. And Ghost at the Gallows is absolutely chock full of solos, and they're never really, you know, like forgettable or boring or, you know, just kind of like a solo put there for the sake of it. They always enhance the section that they're in or act as like a very interesting dynamic into moving into the next section, or, you know, as something in terms of like a cinematic element, you know, so it will be the centerpiece is this big solo. Like, for example, These Two Hands is kind of like a Stairway to Heaven moment, you could say. And you've got these great trade-off solos, which, if I'm not mistaken, is Nate and Tom Draper, who used to be in Carcass, on Give Her to the River, which is the first track, you know, very atmospheric song, which kind of opens the album. The solo on Hanged Man's Revenge as well, that sort of that little bit, I think is such a cool little way to kind of keep that. That's probably the most High on Fire-esque song, you know, it's like, you know, like Motorhead, that sort of vibe. And it keeps the energy going and like keeps you guessing as well, which I really, really enjoyed. It also goes to show that Nate's vocal performance on this album is second to none. He's really, really great at pushing that emotion through, whether it's being, you know, incredibly melancholic and sad, or being, you know, like this sort of power and embracing that inner sort of strength to get you over that, whatever it is that you're kind of dealing with. Like when he's like, death won't stop me. Death won't stop me. You know, it's like got that proper southern drawl about it as well, which I really liked. But Barn Burner as well, you know, light your torches. It's really well written, you know, for a good chorus, but it's sung so well at the same time. Light your torches, just remember, you'll be the next to burn. Tone, I think, is also very, very important, particularly when, you know, you're working with so many melodies and, you know, solos and things like that. And it's great. Like, Spirit Adrift's tone sounds fantastic. But it's not just tone, it's also atmosphere. This record kind of has a, I don't know, like a sort of the simple life about it. You know, like, I love the fact that you can hear certain points on Siren of the South, for example, where it kind of cuts out and you can hear this sort of like the sound of what's crickets, or like the sound of water on Give Her to the River. And it just kind of, it brings things back to, like, you know, what's important, like that kind of feeling, you know, where you step out in the middle of the night and you're like, wow, I can't hear anything but these crickets that are, you know, kind of going. And it just kind of quietens down all of the social media, the news, you know, all the bullshit that we have to live with every single day. Ghost at the Gallows is a riff-laden, harmony-driven shoulder to cry on, I think. And the emotion is at the heart of what makes this record so great. And I think you can really hear that in everything. You can hear it in the playing, you can hear it in the vocals, you can hear it in, you know, the way things have been looked at, and just the kind of message that Nate wants to put across. It's almost like, you know, it's the simple man's metal. And I don't mean that in a derogatory term. I just mean, you know, like, what is important in life? That's what he's encapsulated. And that's what I really, really love about this record. So I really think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be listening to this for quite a long time. And, you know, Spirit Adrift are becoming a very big force to be reckoned with. So for that reason, I'm going to give this album an 8 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know what you think of Spirit Adrift and the album in the comments underneath me. And it'd be great if you could hit that like and subscribe button. Of course, I'm a YouTuber, I have to say it. And yeah, I will see you guys very, very shortly for another video. Take care, my friends.